Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Well, I want to do some welding here on the bean planter. Sure enough, the lock stand right down here at the base is getting a crack in it right around there, and you can see it's been welded before. That was actually by the previous owner. We bought this thing in 2014, but getting a little bit of a crack going right around there, so I'm going to re-weld that. And I'm going to check, well, once I get my lights down here, I'll check back here on the back side of it and then hit all that. And then, if I remember right, also across up on top, there's a few spots, mainly in the framework of it that I found. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on here. So I'll be bringing you along. Unlike the corn planter, which is right there, that I pulled clear out of there because I had to unfold it in order to work on the fertilizers, I'm just going to leave this thing set right where it's at, in its corner. However, to get power from my welder is clear up there at the other end of the shed. But I've got that big welder generator that I can run my MIG welder off as well. It's a big welder stick deal, but I can also run my MIG off of the 220 generator side. And that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take and MIG all this because I'm going to have to use the forklift with the MIG sitting on a pallet. That way I can reach up on top and get the spots up on top right there. Now, if it was a lot of the big frame deal, I probably would take and stick weld that. But for what I need, I'm going to take and MIG it. And so, yeah, I'm going to go get my big service truck, and we'll back it up in here and get to work on it. Alrighty, that's got the truck backed up in here. And I've showed this thing before. But yeah, right there's my big welder and generator. So, like I say, I've got an extension cord that I can come right off there, and I can run my MIG around. And I'll be setting the MIG on a pallet with the forklift. And that'll let me be able to weld right down here, and it just saves having to take and, well, I'd have to move the sprayer, hook the tractor on, get this planter all pulled up and out of the corner, clear up to the electric plug. This here's a whole lot easier. So I'm going to start getting around here and get the forklift with my welder on it, and we'll get it brought down here and start getting stuff set up. Got the battery charger here hooked up onto my welder. It's got the original battery in it, and when I bought this thing here, right a year ago, and I've showed it before, I should have put a new battery in the thing then, but it had been starting good last year. But now we've gotten into the winter time, it's dead. So coming up to 15% there, or 16 now on the charger. And that'll get him fired up and going. Before anybody says, well, why didn't you buy a big Miller? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because Miller and Hobart, which is what this is, they're both owned and manufactured by Illinois Tool Works. I had a farmer up east here tell me that who actually works a lot with welders. He said all of the internal components are the same. Everything's identical. And just basically the name on the outside and about $2,500 less. And so that's why I went with a big Hobart. But yeah, it's a 225 stick welder and 9,500 continuous, 11,000 watt peak on the generator. And so we'll get that thing fired up and running, and then like I say, they'll let me run my MIG welder. Got the forklift pulled up here, Like I said, I'm going to start right here on that lock stand first. Here's my big extension cord. So I'll get that run over to the generator. There we go. Okay, I think we're ready to take and start the generator and fire it up now. All right, and that cord just plugs in right there. And there we go, just like that. Get that back down out of my way. And let's see here, I'll leave the battery charger on it, and let's go ahead and fire him up. Huh, that's odd. Started. Normally it starts a lot better than that. However, it has been a while since I started it, and with that dead battery, I gotta get a new battery put into it. So we'll get it fixed up here, ready to go. Okay, I want to take and grind that little brake out before I weld on it. Once I started grinding on that, I can see the crack just open right up. I don't know if I can get to focus on camera or not. Okay, yeah, like I say. Yeah, there it is. You can kind of see it kind of highlighting in the silver part right there. Just a little bit. There's the brake. Try and find a good ground. Okay, I think that'll work right there. Got my power selection here, what I want. We'll take and turn it on. The thing I like about that generator is it's power on demand. So when I turn this here on, you'll hear the RPM of the generator kick up to full throttle. Okay, welder's on, we're ready to go. Okay, I think that right there will just about do it. I may come around here over here on this corner a little bit. That should have it. I had two little breaks back here, so I went ahead and hit both those spots. But yeah, that should have that back good to go again. Now I'm going to take and jump back up on top here, and we'll start working way across. Okay, now I'm up here on top of the planter. Got the welder raised up on the foot with the forklift right there on the pallet. Let me show you right quick. Hopefully you can see it. Right there, you can see a little crack going right around that corner. I have to hit that up. And then I found a few more. In fact, two are right there in the center on those two middle columns. And I'm just going to work my way on down across. There's a couple more here and there also. So, if you have a Kinze planter, it might not be a bad idea to go over and take a look on the framework that locks the frame rigid. Just make sure you're not getting any frame breaks into it. I got that brake right back there welded up. And now I've got one right here. Let me see it. Trying to put the camera is easier said than done. At least trying to set it around here. Let's see if I can get this stuck somewhere. But I got a brake right here. I got to put a board underneath that wiring that way you don't burn it. Okay, that's got it held up out of the way far enough. Got that brake right there. Well, that I might be able to put that one this way. Got a brake right here. So see right here is your center post that the planter goes up and down on. And so you got these two main frame tubes coming down. Yeah, so we're broke there, and got a crack right there on that corner, and same thing over here on this other side. Got a crack right there on that corner. So we'll get that all taken care of. Okay, now I got that part ground out. I'll hit this spot right here. I shut the generator off because I've got several spots across here. I'm just going to go right across and grind them, and then once I'm getting them all ground out, then I'll go across and weld it all. Next one's right here. Been going across here looking. Got 3 more cracks. One right there at the base of that square tube. I got a spot right here, and then one clear down there at the end where it goes down, up, down, and butts up against that, well, it looks like a 4x6 tube. So, like I say, if you own a Kinze planer, go across and check this out. Of course, you get a lot of flexing and that kind of stuff, especially when you're going down the road. That's why with these things, you don't just go flying down the road, bouncing and bumping. But, as you can see, this set of boxes right here, when the planer gives its quarter turn and sets down, this here is actually the front of the planer. But you see you got this structure going across the top up here. This is what locks the frame rigid when you trip over into transport mode. And so you got a lot of weight riding and being carried by all that. But other than that though, they're a great planer. We really like them. So I'm gonna get the grinder and hit these last 3 spots, and then I'll be ready to get the generator fired back up and start welding, because I shut the generator off and just going across here, grinding all these, then I'll come across and weld them all. But yeah, like I say, if you have a Kinze, just check your locking structure frame where it meets up with your 4x6s, and if there's any cracks there, grind them out, weld them back up. Now, one oddball thing that this planer has that I have never seen anywhere else, in fact, I've even had other guys tell me the same thing, as well as the place that we bought it from back in 2014. It has an extra frame tube up here on the front. This here's original. This here's been added on. And so I'm not exactly sure where it came from or what, but I do like it because it makes it gives you a nice it makes a nice walking platform to walk right across the front of the planer, especially when you're filling these front boxes. But anyway, that's just a little side note. right, that's the last one. So that should have all the brakes patched back together that I can find anyway. Not too bad. That should work. Well guys, I think that's pretty much got everything all wrapped up. I've already taken the big cord off the generator right there and put it away. Got the welder, I gotta take it back off and set it back over on my cart. And but yeah, that's got all the cracks and breaks I can find all welded back together. So like I say, if you have a Kinze planer, go across and check that. And because if those continue to break, what it can actually begin to do, if one begins to pull loose, it can throw a lot of additional stress onto the other tubes. And the last thing you want is for, when you're up in the air like this, is for something to give away and actually come down. That would not be good. So anyway, all right guys, I'm going to call that an end of the video. So take care. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.